The 6 biggest Commander storylines.
It is caught!
Delivered at 6 o'clock sharp. It's the Pick 6 at 6.
We set out to find a leader, someone who could take this franchise to the next level, build an elite team that consistently competes for championships.
All right, mostly we've moved on from the Hail Mary earlier in the week, but I mean, come on. Do you really think that we're not going to let you hear from the coordinators, especially Kliff Kingsbury, on that?
Number 1.
So Kliff was asked about the Hail Mary and just kind of what went into it, the details of it all, and his vantage point on what was obviously one of the craziest plays in the history of the league, certainly in the history of the franchise, and certainly anything that's happened recently around here.
A ton of reps throughout the course of a year. What's crazy, we have a guy on our staff, Dave Rye, who's been a part of 5 now. So 3 in Green Bay, 1 in Arizona, and 1 here. So he's kind of the expert. But when we got to Arizona my first year, he and Tom Clements, who's Green Bay quarterback coach, legendary, one of the best quarterback coaches of all time, Coach Favre, Rodgers, all those guys, they kind of installed it like this was just going to happen. Like it's a normal play. I'm like, this never happens. Like, what are y'all talking about? But they had been a part of 3 with Rodgers, so we kind of bought in and have been fortunate to be a part of 2 of them. And the guys, I mean, it's about players, not plays, like I've said, and the guys just executed flawlessly and incredible play with it.
I think that's genuinely hilarious that in Green Bay, Rodgers was so good at them that they're just like, yeah, this is how it works. That is one of the freaky things about Aaron Rodgers' just insane record with those. But now they've done it. They've done it here. How surprised was Kliff that it worked again?
Oh, there's no doubt. And the last one was COVID, so there were no fans, and it was just kind of us screaming. So this was a lot more exciting, and that was really, Kyler made an incredible play, and he saw Hop one-on-one and took his chance. It was just Hop going up and making a play, and this one took everybody, and so that was really special.
So Kliff's now been a part of 2, 3 more, and he'll match David Rye, although David Rye, if they do it again here, would be a part of that one too, the tight ends coach. Kind of crazy he was a part of that many. As for Joe Whitt's side of things, what did he hear specifically from the crowd after pandemonium hit in Landover?
Well, you know, to be honest with you, I didn't see much of it because I was pissed. We had just gave up the touchdown. So I got up and I was walking out of the box, and then I turned around and I was like, okay, all right. I was a little bit surprised about the play before the play. I was like, oh, they gave us a sideline. We're going to have a chance at this, at the Hail Mary. And so I turned and I looked at the TV and I said, oh, we have time. I said, we're going to really have a chance at this Hail Mary. And so now I'm getting excited as the play's going on, and the ball went up, and then I saw it happen. I'm watching the TV. I didn't actually see the screen, and I said, oh, wow, we caught it. And so I just stood there, and everybody's going crazy. And I was like, because I was still a little pissed. You know, we you know, we let them score, and then I just went ballistic with everybody else, and we just went rounding down the hall to the elevator. But so I really didn't get to see the fan reaction until I saw the pictures of it. But you know, I'm glad we have J5. He does an excellent job, but we shouldn't put him in that situation as a defense. We should close the game, finish the game in those winning moments. And I blame myself because we were in a solid call, but there was a better call that I should have got to, and I didn't. And that's not acceptable.
That is, honestly, Anthony, probably my favorite reaction so far to the Hail Mary. What a perfect reaction from the defensive coordinator. I was so happy, but I was still a little pissed.
Nah, that's hilarious.
That's so good. It's the correct reaction from Joe Whitt Jr. All right, moving on.
Number 2.
One thing that I had noticed in the Chicago game was that the Bears would substitute pretty late. And, like, the officials have to let the other team substitute if the offense substitutes. But to slow down the tempo, the Bears would wait as long as possible. Was Kliff onto that, and what does he make of it?
No, we've seen it sporadically throughout, and it's just really on us to make sure that we're concise with our substitutions and we're nailing it. Otherwise, they're going to be allowed to, hold the ball, and when we sub, they sub, and they tend to take their time doing that, which I understand. It's part of the game, and it's built in that way, but that just means we have to be really good when we do go fast or we sub that we're dialed in.
And as for the protocol?
Yeah, I mean, it's very subjective, crew to crew, and Yeah, I'm not going to get into that too much, but they are allowed ample time, in my opinion.
That is the wheels turning in Kliff Kingsbury's head of, do I want to get fined today or not? I wish it was more consistent. That's my only thing. I do think it is something where if I was a defensive coordinator, would I be trying to manipulate it some? But it's not even like Washington is always trying to get the playoff now. It's just like sometimes these refs don't get out of the way, and then they have to rush because there's 3 on the shot clock. And that's just ridiculous. Like, they've had ample time. The players are all on the field. Why are you still standing there? Get the hell out of the way. And so it limits pre-snap motion. Like, there's things that you might have to kill in a play because the defense, not the defense, but the referees are just limiting it for a long time. So yeah, it's I find the way that it has been administered inconsistent, as Kliff said, and annoying, which he didn't say because he didn't want to get fined.
Number 3.
As for other things that are annoying for Kliff Kingsbury, this one he is more willing to talk about because it's something that they need to clean up. It was a problem last weekend, and it was a problem the first time that the Commanders played the Giants. Red zone execution. What you got, Kliff?
Yeah, it definitely needs to be better. I thought we moved the ball well at times against Chicago, but had a chance to really put it away. A couple of times I thought that could put a lot of pressure on them, make it more one-dimensional, and we just floundered around down there, whether it was bad play calls or not the type of execution that we expect. And it was similar to the New York game as well. Just have to call better plays and have to execute better, and our guys know that. We can't expect to win like that. Defense did a tremendous job continuing to get us the ball back, continues to give us chances to put that team away, and we just didn't.
There's a couple of plays where things are kind of dead and there's not a lot going on. I have a hard time putting a whole lot on Kliff when you have Ertz have a ball that just gets jarred out, when you have McCaffrey just missing getting a toe down and a great pressure by Montez Sweat on that first drive of the game, when you have another touchdown that's called off the board by your everything right guard being 1.5 yards too far down the field on a flag that often is not thrown because it wasn't really part of the play. Like, those are good plays. They should have been touchdowns. And there's a couple of others that maybe, okay, yeah, these are covered up. That didn't give Jayden a whole lot of options. Maybe there could have been a better run, but like typically the run game, it's just a matter of execution. Maybe you ran into a bad look because you could have anticipated better based off their personnel or something. But at the end of the day, man, like, this stuff is happening fast. I think Kliff's done a pretty good job down there. And when they failed, it's been execution based. And even that first game, lots of penalties down there. And all of a sudden you're in bad down and distance. And it's like, how many times are we going to gain the same 5 yards? So it is definitely something that needs to get better. And Kliff, if he can do a better job, should. But if we do the blame pie, I think that we are definitely putting this far more on the players than on the coaches.
This is the Hoffman Show on the Team 980 and the Odyssey app.